Right then, welcome back to Howson Versus, where I go and look at the pundits that are talking absolute wibble and correct them where they're wrong. And there's one channel which lives in this realm and lives on this show. And you better believe they're getting an absolute feature today. It is, of course, TalkSport. And where else are we going to start but our favourite son on Howson Versus, Graeme, I'm not bitter at United, honest our kid, Souness. So what's he had a problem with? Oh, United's lightweight centre-half. United's lightweight centre-half, by the way, whose nickname is Big Boy. I'm going to say that again because you didn't fucking listen to me the first time. Matthijs de Ligt's nickname in Holland is Gross Jonge. Big Boy. Anyway, he's called him a lightweight centre-half. Now, I've never been on a piss with Matthijs de Ligt, right? And we can fix that at some point over the next 9 months. But if he's talking about the size of him, he's not lightweight. Let's have a look what he said.
When I look at de Ligt, I'm a lightweight centre-half. Yeah, can play, but can he do the...
Lightweight?
Yeah, can he do the things that... What do you want from your centre-half first and foremost? Defend.
Yeah.
That seems to have gone out of the game now. It would appear that some coaches... stroke managers think it's all about being able to play out from the back. Keep the ball at the back of your net.
So he goes on to say, I am doubtful about de Ligt. He didn't get into the national team in the Euros. Now, I actually think that's a pretty valid point. But they had Ronald Koeman, who is the Dutch Gareth Southgate. So his bad decisions doesn't justify this not being a good player. He talks about how Bayern don't like to get rid of their good players, and that's also a potentially another valid point. But if you go and look at the comments on the poster that Bayern did for him leaving and just see how many Bayern fans are absolutely losing their mind about going. And then he says, he was a star as a boy. Has he progressed since then? All I can hear, Graeme, is you saying, I ain't watched him since he was in that Champions League run that everyone watched when he was playing for Ajax. Because I don't have you down as watching the Bundesliga, and I'm pretty sure you don't watch Serie A. So he says, I'm not sure he is what United need at this time. What, a dual-winning monster that can play out from the back, that knows Erik ten Hag's system, that's played alongside Lisandro Martinez, that's an absolute fucking leader, that was captain of his club at 17. We don't need that. What do we need then, fuckwit? He says there's no queue around the block to buy the duo. They'll pay a premium because they're Man United. Talk to me. £51 million for the fucking pair of them. Now, of course, that's been quoted out at 60 million by TalkSport, even though it was literally reported as £51 million. It was 60 million euros, but they chose not to report that, didn't they? They chose to say 60 million pounds, which is just fucking lies, lads. And then we've got Steve Nicol. Now, Steve Nicol and ESPN just decide to wake up every morning and try and paste Manchester United, right? That is literally their production meeting in the morning. Steve Nicol goes, who can I have a go at Manchester United? I am certain that's where it goes. And by the way, why does his face look like he's just shit his pants at every minute of every single day and he's having to waft in his own feces? Because that's what his face looks like. Now, aside from his face, let's listen to the content of his speech. And he says he can't get a game for the worst Bayern Munich team. The worst Bayern Munich team. I don't know if it's the worst Bayern Munich. Regardless, right? So, lost his place to Eric Dyer as well, apparently. Now, Eric Dyer played 15 times for Bayern Munich. 14 of those occasions he was playing alongside Matthijs de Ligt. So, yeah, he obviously lost his place to Eric Dyer, mate. And also that he can't get a game for the worst Bayern Munich side. So Deo Upamecano played the most in this time. 63 games, I think it was. 61 games is Matthijs de Ligt. So where does this myth come from? Yes, he's had some injuries, but he's had way less injuries and way less availability issues than Manchester United have had. He's pretty fit, he's pretty available, and he's pretty good. I am seeing all of the same sort of bollocks that we saw when United signed Lisandro Martinez. Remember that? He's too short. How's he ever going to be good? How's he ever going to win a header? How does he get the milk out the top of the fridge? Like, all of these fucking dramas was coming up. Yet, meanwhile, he's an absolutely sensational centre-half. And for me, now I know some people don't agree, but for me, he is the best centre-half in the Premier League, right? And I think having Matthijs de Ligt and Yoro as a rotation of 3 for 2, Manchester United have got a fucking brilliant centre-half partnership between whichever 2 of those 3 you decide to choose. And all of these fucking Scousers are losing their goddamn mind about it. It's glorious. And speaking of Scousers, Robbie Fowler Yeah, I was wondering what year it was too and why Robbie Fowler's opinions of any kind of relevance. Apparently, he writes for the Daily Mirror. Which, like we said, journalism's dead. Did you ever think Robbie Fowler would be getting his own, like, Robbie Fowler? And people are going, oh, yes, get me cornflakes on. Let's see what Robbie Fowler's had to say today. Here's what he had to say. New season, fresh start, same old. The only thing Ten Hag is likely to win is the sack race. Where has this stray come from? This is on the back of the Community Shield where Manchester United were the better team, by the way. Right, now, and that's not the delusion that Steve sometimes rolls with. That was, objectively, Manchester United were better than Manchester City in the Community Shield. Now, we didn't win. That's football sometimes. But Manchester United were better than them. So Robbie Fowler, who probably didn't watch the game, looking at this load of bollocks that he's wrote, has come on and gone, do you know what? What can I say to this? I'm going to say Ten Hag's the one that's going to get sacked first. Why? Because it's a fucking headline. Boss under pressure already. From who? From fucking nuggets like you, that's who. The anti-media agenda against anything Manchester United do is so transparent. I am starting a fucking campaign. Manchester United fans, we need to go and fucking all of them. B-Tech. Probably have to cut that, right? What if we beep it all? It actually takes the piss. Manchester United probably bullied a load of journalists when Sir Alex Ferguson was here, and we certainly ruined childhoods left, right and centre. You go to the Etihad at the moment, it's fucking sausage roll buffets and everyone being nice to you, and that's why no one writes a load of bollocks about Manchester City, despite the fact that they've got 115 and maybe more charges hanging over them. No one wants to write about the sports washing. Nobody wants to write about some of the egregious shit that's gone on with Manchester City as a football club because they're nice to the journalists. Manchester United get clicks for them, and Manchester United don't want to play the game in giving people for interviews, and there's obviously still a load of people scarred by the way Fergie treated them. Well, guess what? It's about time we went back to that. It's about time that Manchester United grew a set of bollocks. We saw it a little bit last season where the media department at Manchester United went, hey, you're banned and you're banned. Ban the fucking lot of them and see what happens then. Every single person. That press conference at the start of next season should have fucking Laurie Whitwell sitting there on his own in his little fucking socks going, Jesus Christ, what's happened? On his fucking wands. And certainly not any rag that fucking employs Robbie fucking Fowler to give an opinion on a Manchester United manager. Jesus, wet. Are we just doing this to deflect from the fact that you've hired a shitter, balder version of Erik Ten Hag for Liverpool and not signed anyone? And don't get me started on the fact that you was all fucking touching yourselves about Zubimendi signing, because what happened there, lads? Hey? Now, obviously, Sociedad offered him a big fat contract. Is what? No. So they've offered him a lesser contract to stay, where he would have got paid more at Liverpool, and he's decided to stay. No comment. And finally, Gabby Agbonlahor. Now, you knew before you clicked on this video, even if you've not been on the internet for the last 2 or 3 days, Graeme Souness and Gabby Agbonlahor was going to have their own section in this. It's almost like they've auditioned for it, isn't it? And they certainly work hard at making sure they're included in this very show week in, week out. Now, Gabby Agbonlahor said, talking about Bruno Fernandes, right? Just another day at TalkSport, obviously. This is the sort of player that I would get in the changing room. Pause. And I'll get him probably by the throat. Siri, play Careless Whisper. Throw your arms up. Oh, no, it's different scene. It's a different scene. Throw your arms up at me again, and I'm going to beat you up. One sec. Is he fucking serious? Because he doesn't stop throwing his arms up, even when he passes the ball out of play. He throws his arms up at the player when it's his fault. Now, yeah, Bruno throws his arms up. Also creates the most fucking chances in the Premier League. Do you know what that is? No, you never wore that sort of moniker, have you? I can't get Gabby Agbonlahor walking around the dressing room thinking he's fucking prime Roy Keane. Has Gabby Agbonlahor seen Gabby Agbonlahor play? Was there no fucking mirrors in the Aston Villa changing room? The fuck is he on about? Beat him up. I'm going to beat you up. Listen, Gabby, you can't beat the allegations that you're addicted to Quality Street, mate, so you're not beating anyone up by your fucking Christ on a bike. Anyway, see you next week. And I'm talking to Gabby, not you lot. See you in a bit.